In LaGrange, floodwater has started to recede.
But as it flows back into the Colorado River, it's leaving behind a big mess. Fox 7's Rudy Koski is live in LaGrange with an update on that. Rudy.
Hi, Mike. A very big mess, but a lot of the water has started moving back into the river. And this afternoon, county officials issued a statement that they are now moving into recovery mode. As you can see behind me, Travis Street, which is also Business 71 here through LaGrange, is no longer underwater, which is a great sight. But the bridge on down the road back there, it's got to be checked out, make sure it is stable, it is still secure. Plus neighborhoods and businesses, all that were flooded, they've got to be checked out by code inspectors before residents who were evacuated and business owners who were evacuated will be allowed back in. The floodwater started to recede from the west side of LaGrange Tuesday morning. The retreat back toward the main banks of the Colorado River brought welcome relief. But there was also a lot of anxiety, especially for the families held back by barricades waiting to return to their homes.
Some of these kids cry and cry and they don't stop crying because they want their house. They want their houses and they want to go home, and there's nothing to go home to. It's horrible and it breaks our hearts, but we have to stay together. 3
mobile home parks are among the hardest hit in LaGrange. From our Skyfox drone, you can see how some trailers were swept away from their lots. Several ended up in debris piles. Others were left blocking roadways.
It's devastating over down there.
Kenneth Powell says he watched it all happen from the edge of Main Street.
There were whole trailer houses just floating across the road. There's even a big container down there that came from probably a half a mile away from here.
And this trailer right here belongs over there, that building.
We first spoke to Dan Wedding Sunday afternoon after he took down an American flag from his porch. He left behind his trailer. And despite that loss, Wedding remains optimistic.
Mostly, it could have been worse.
Before people were allowed back into the evacuation zone, fire crews conducted a block-by-block, door-to-door safety sweep. There was a small victory for one resident. It was a what is lost is now found moment, and it happened during one of our morning reports.
Area we're in today, we couldn't even see yesterday because it was all blocked off because of those flood threats.
Fox reporter Tanya Ortega found several old photographs of the flood debris and mentioned what she had found. Nathan Hess and his wife were watching.
My wife seen these come across the TV and she said, those are my pictures from about 16 or 17 years ago when she was in San Antonio. We just appreciate everything, most definitely.
Help is being offered for what can't be found or must be replaced. Groups like this one have started handing out free clothing on street corners. Neighbor helping neighbor. A small but big step in the recovery effort. Now, there are a lot of people who are undocumented immigrants who lived in neighborhoods that got flooded out, and there's concern about eligibility that they may or may not have for state and federal aid. I was told by county officials this afternoon that as long as there was one person with a valid Social Security number living in the home before the flood, aid will be made available. But county officials still worried about those who may not still qualify for any kind of help, and so they're looking to see if there's some type of safety net that they can create for them, but right now they just don't know. We'll be back later on with an update. Now back to you in the studio.